ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನೀವು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಿರುವ ಅದಮ್ಯ ಚೇತನ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಂತೆ ನೀವು ಸಹ ಎಂದಿಗೂ ಭತ್ತದ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದ ಚಿಲುಮೆಯಾಗಿರುವಿರಿ. You are truly very inspiring to all of us, ma'am. We are all eagerly waiting to listen to your words. I request you to kindly address the gathering.
ಓಂ ಸಾಯಿರಾಮ್. ಭಗವಾನ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಸತ್ಯ ಸಾಯಿಬಾಬಾ ಅವರ ದಿವ್ಯ ಪಾದಕಮಲಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಹಿಮಾವಾಹಿನಿ ರತ್ನಾಕರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರತ್ನಮ್ಮ ಅವರೇ, ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಪ್ರಭಾವತಮ್ಮ ಅವರೇ, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತೆ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ವಾಣಿ ಪುರೋಹಿತ್ ಅವರೇ, ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವರೇ, ನೆರೆದಿರುತ್ತ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರೇ, ಸಹೋದರರೇ, ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ರಿಯಲಿ privileged today to be part of Easwaramma Puraskara Samarambha of 2023. It is such an wonderful event. Congratulations to the organizers for selecting such a three great women who have done one of the best services for the mankind. I was wondering, the way they have selected is one from the philosophy. She has been rendered services for decades in the field of Bhagavad Gita, the shlokas, spreading this great Indian culture, Indian philosophy. That is Srimati Prabhavathamma. ಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿಯ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೂ ಭಾಳ ಕಷ್ಟದಿಂದ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಅಂತಹ ಅತ್ಯಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನು ನೂರಾರು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡೋದು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಸಂಗತಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎನ್ ಒನ್ ಲೇಡಿ, ಅನ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಶಿ has showed to the whole society. I am really thankful to the organizer and my salutations to Padmavathamma. Another friend of mine, I know her, Vani Purohit. She is from Dharwad, educated in Mumbai, and it is another way of now we are depicting that yes, even the people who can take big salaries or who are working in IT field can still leave all that and work for the downtrodden women, being in a two-tier city. Because I have my personal experience when I wanted her to make some 10,000 bags in 5 days. I still remember that was in 2015. And she said, she showed her capacity. She said, I will get, it is all stitching, it is not a machine, not through a big industry. But she got the work done to various women and got some 10,000 bags, cotton bags stitched in 5 days and sent it to Bangalore. And I'm so happy that she's been supporting so many women. And we can see that Adamya Chetana, that indomitable spirit within her, fighting the cancer, not just by sitting at home and spreading negativity, but she knew that she has that disease, but she overcome not only her disease, that is that problem in the society, is also she has been fighting with that problem, and she showed that how a woman, with whatever problem she may have back at home within herself, but what she spreads is that positivity, and she can support so many women. That's what she has been showing it to the people through her organization Rapid. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರತ್ನಮ್ಮ ನನ್ನ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಸೋಲಿಗರ ಸಮಾಜದಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಬಿಳಿಗಿರಿ ರಂಗದ ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೀ ಆ ಹೆಸರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೇ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆನಂದ, ಉತ್ಸಾಹ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯ ಮಡಿಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರತ್ನಮ್ಮ ಅವರು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರತ್ನಮ್ಮ ಅವರು ಮೊದಲನೇವರಾಗಿ SSLC ಪಾಸ್ ಆದರು. ಮೊದಲನೇ PhD ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡಿ ತನ್ನ ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕರೂ ತಿಂಗಳ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಂಬಳ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ನಾನು ವಾಪಸ್ ನನ್ನ ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ನನ್ನ ನನ್ನ ಸಮಾಜದವರಿಗೆ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬಳೇ SSLC ಮಾಡಿ PhD ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತನ್ನ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತನ್ನ ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತನ್ನ ಸಮಾಜದವ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಶಿ ಈಸ್ Rathnamma, she is right before us. I think there's a big congratulations to Dr. Rathnamma. It is not easy. See, staying in a forest, there are so many issues. We read in papers the conflict of man-animal conflict happening, the elephants coming into the farms. We read it in quite a couple of times in Bangalore, in Mysore, it keeps happening. But imagine for the people who are staying right inside the forest, on one side you have to conserve the forest, on the other side there's a run of development, so many things happening. How do we balance both? Our children need education, we need forest, at the same time we need all the developments. So, and at the same time there is a long journey of our tribal community for saving the forest, saving the green, which is not appreciated. Why not appreciated? Because it is never understood by the so-called educated people living in the cities. It is because we have never faced that hardship. We never seen that whole culture which they have inherited for so many years. So it is very important that we understand their life, we appreciate, and also how we can support them being here and also support the people who are working with them. And I am so happy that the Easwaramma Puraskara is given to her, and that in itself has taught us so many lessons, so many things to be done from us, and also we are giving you a message that we are with you. ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನೀವು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. Is the message which Sai Baba always spoke about Seva, and he is to tell you, he is the personification of Seva. And he is the first person who showed what Seva is, especially in these three areas of Anna, Akshara, Arogya. And in Indian tradition, all the three were not-for-profit services. And services in English is not the exact equivalent of Seva. Seva is the act where we don't expect anything, nothing in the form of money, nothing in the form of fame or name. So Seva is reaching out to the needy, and especially in our tradition, the food was never sold. The health, again, that medical treatment, there was no bill attached to medical treatment, and same with education. And we inherit that whole tradition, but unfortunately what's happening today, we see it in all the three areas. We see what is happening, but it is Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba showed that one of the best of the best hospital can be built, and we can give 100% free medical aid to. There is no billing counter required. There is no billing section in any of the Sathya Sai Baba hospitals. We know it. We've been seeing it. It is helping hundreds and hundreds of the needy people. In the same way, it may be education, it may be the food area. They have really done so many wonderful acts, and these services have motivated so many other NGOs, both Adamya, Chetana, and I am sure Dr. Rathnamma's and Prabhavathamma and Vani Purohit. And it has not only them, it has motivated hundreds of such organizations. And coming to the today's event, wherein the three great women are felicitated today. Three are, to tell you frankly, they are symbolic. It is symbolic, but every woman of this country have a special qualities in them, and that has been recognized through in thousands of years of culture of India. And for Indian women, it has been a long journey. For women, it is always a long, not only just long journey of ups and downs as well. Women were in earlier days, they used to consider Guru Mata is bigger and more worthier than the Guru himself. And even as a goddess, is goddess of Shakti. And that's where our journey started. But in between, some thousands years back, when the India faced Muslim invasion, the foreign invasion, and also there were some differences within our own people in practicing the various things. Maybe we missed out somewhere, and suddenly women were not allowed to go out, no education was given. Even the Indian women have seen that side of the story as well. But today, fortunately, things are changing, and not to the full expectation, but I am sure in people like the people sitting on the stage, and there are so many women outside, are making sure that especially women carry this great culture where we always say, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. So India has never thought for, our people have never thought for themselves. Now yavagu, nanna salvagi na eno martini andavaralla. Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Not just the majority. The democratic system today may be for democracy today is for majority. But India has always believed in Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. It is not just a family of we four, we two and our two, but it is always, we considered the whole Vasudha, the whole earth as the whole family, and not just the human beings, even the birds, the animals, the trees, they are all part of this family. That is the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. ಈ ಎರಡು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಂಬಿದವರು ನಾವು. So with these two big beliefs and this journey of women with lot of ups and downs, but what I see today, the Indian women have still, we have the best of the best opportunities. When we consider, when we look at the women in other countries, that's what I feel. When we started giving food in Rajasthan, in Jodhpur, another woman was instrumental in taking us to a farther place called Jodhpur, where the temperature varies from 3 degrees to 43 degrees. In winter it is 3 degrees, in summer it is 43 degrees. And other than seeing in the map, I had not seen where Jodhpur is. It is a difficult journey to reach there. The menu is different. We were wondering how do we do it. But it was Srimati Vasundhara Raje, one of the successful women chief ministers of India. She said, you come, you can do it. I am there with you. I will give full support, because in Adamya Chetana we have a big women team as volunteers, and we were really worried, how do we cook for some 35,000-40,000 students there in Jodhpur and reach it out to these students. But Srimati Vasundhara Raje said, it is possible, have that confidence, come to Jodhpur and you can really do it. And since 2006, that too we started it on November 1st, 2006 on Rajyotsava Day. And on Rajyotsava Day, Bisibelabath was served in Jodhpur in Rajasthan. And making roti was a big challenge. Even today we make 70,000 rotis per day. Dinaki 70,000 chapati madbekagutte. But it is, I think when I look at the journey of Adamya Chetana, where we started our activities through a simple tailoring program for women. We thought we will teach some 15-20 in a batch. We will teach tailoring to the women, those who could not pass SSLC, because those who pass SSLC get into college and then continue their education, get a job. But those who could not pass SSLC, there is a big challenge. Other than going to a couple of houses and becoming a maid servant, there is no opportunity for them. So that's where we thought, why not teach them tailoring, give the cloth, give everything, make sure that they learn tailoring and get into self-employment. That was the idea. But the way society supported, so I have that full confidence that if you start with any work start with a good intent and get into the grassroots level activities, I am sure the whole society is there with you, especially people of Bangalore have always supported us. We started our computer class, then we started Ata Patha. And in year 2003, when the school teacher said, Ata Patha and all we will take care, Uta is one very, very difficult that all the, and more men know it better than women, I am sure, because even if they get one day to cook something a little bit, for the two people, they realize that how difficult it is. The cooking is one of the most tedious work, but at the same time, I always feel it is many a times it is just neglected because our women make such a delicious meal without making much of a noise, and things happen. ಹಾಗೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ್ದು, ನನಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ್ದು ಅವಾಗೇನೆ. ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ 2003 ಫಾರ್ 10,000 ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಪರ್ ಡೇ. ಸೊ ಕುಕಿಂಗ್ ಫುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ 10,000 ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ reaching it to 56 schools. And that's where my experience in working for a defense lab as an engineer, I started getting into those experiences details. So planning in advance and planning in detail. One, intent has to be very clear. It is for the society. Whatever I do is for those small young children who have no access to good food. That was the intent. Second one, just intent is not sufficient. Planning in advance and planning in detail is very much required. So I always say cooking is not just art, it is engineering. So doing things systematically, that many of us we have realized whenever one is we have to be confident. Second is we have to do systematic. If you do systematic, there is no mess in the kitchen. If you are not systematic, even if you are cooking for 4 or 5 people, we know it. It's not that something I am telling you any rocket science. So we have to do the planning in detail and planning in advance and execute it with confidence. Get to know how all the awareness or get to know what are the things happening around. And from 10,000, I'm happy to share you within 1 year we became 54,000 in Bangalore. We were serving 54,000 in 2004. Then we started in Hubli in 2005 we started in Hubli because Hubli is the place of my mother-in-law in whose memory we started our organization. Her name is Srimati Girija Shastri. She comes from a middle-class family, not as educated as many of us of today because this is 50 years back. And from Bangalore she moved to Hubli, and being a simple housewife, she still felt how I can contribute to the society. She started a free school for children, then so many other programs. Being in Hubli, she did, again she is a cancer survivor. She fought with breast cancer for 20 years in those days, from 76 to 96. At the same time, she did so many social work in Hubli. So we thought we should start a midday meal program in Hubli, and in 2005 we started our midday meal program in Hubli. And then in 2006 in Rajasthan in Jodhpur, 2007 in Kalburgi. And today with Shri Sathya Sai's grace, by Goddess Annapurneshwari's blessings, we are covering around 1,90,000 food every day. We would have cooked more than 55 crores meals till date. But as a non-profit organization, as an NGO, I always thought, what is the difference between we doing it or some caterer doing a food? If somebody can provide the money, one is, of course, raising funds, making sure that give nutritious food is one big challenge. But when you execute it, what is the difference between a mother cooking and a cook or somebody cooking in a hotel? There is a difference. So that difference I wanted to showcase to all the children or to everyone, that when Adamya Chetana is cooking, we are not just cooking the nutritious meal, but we have to, that concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the concept of Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu has to come through our kitchen. Our kitchen is not just Pakashala, it is a Pathashala as well. So that's where we converted our kitchen. The kitchen which was generating around 300 kgs of garbage per day. Even back at home, ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ ನಾವು ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕೆ ಜಿ 2 ಕೆ ಜಿ ಕಸ ಬಂದೇ ಬೀಳ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಬೇರೆ 2-3 ಕಸದ ಬುಟ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ತುಂಬಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಸದ ಬುಟ್ಟಿ ಇರೋದು ದುರಾದೃಷ್ಟವಶಾತ್ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವೇ 300 kg ವಾಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ 70,000 ಪೀಪಲ್. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ವೈ ದಿಸ್ 300 kg. ಈ 300 kg ಕಸ ಆದರೂ ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಏನಿದು ಅಂತ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟು ಶೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು ದ 300 kg per day. Within 15 days it became zero. Since last 13 years we have not given anything to Bangalore Municipal Corporation. No waste is given, not only in that kitchen. Now today, including my home kitchen, many kitchens in Bangalore, we have successfully turned them into zero garbage kitchens. It is possible. Not only kitchen, now the events also can become zero garbage. When hundreds of people eat food, why should we throw the paper glass? Again, paper is made from wood. We have to cut trees to make paper. Why should we drink coffee or tea in paper glass? Why not go for the regular reusable cutlery? That was the concept. No paper napkin, no paper glass, no plastic, of course. That's where our journey of plate bank started. I am very happy to share with you today hundreds of organizations. The program started with 100 plates. We had set of 100 plates. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ 100 ತಟ್ಟೆ 100 ಲೋಟ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ, ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಇದೆಯಾ ಮತ್ತೇನಾದರೂ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಂದು ಕೊಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುರು ಆಗಿರೋದು. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ 10,000 ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ತಟ್ಟೆಗಳು, 10,000 ಬೌಲ್ಗಳು, ಚಮಚ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಂದು 30,000 ಚಮಚ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ನಾಗಾನಂದ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ದಿನ, ಒಂದನೇ ದಿನಾನೂ ಸುಮಾರು 70,000 ಜನ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಮಾರನೇ ದಿನಾನೂ 70,000 ಜನ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯವರು ಆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ಶ್ರೀ ನಾಗಾನಂದ್ ಅವರೇ ಅವರು ಅದರ ನೇತೃತ್ವವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿದರು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ 2 days, how do we make it a zero garbage event? See, for me it's always a dream of making the big events as a zero garbage event, and really that is one way of contributing the society. Not just giving some notebooks or books or food. Another way of contributing society is how do we make sure that birds are, by our acts, the birds are not affected, the animal life is not affected, we are not polluting the earth, water. How do we do it? And so there we used all stainless steel spoons, areca nut plates, and from areca nut plates ಅಂದರೆ ಅಡಿಕೆ ತಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದ್ವಿ ನಿಜ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ for 70,000 we could not use the stainless steel plates because we had only 10,000 in our stock. But those areca nut plates, we sent it for making briquette. And to tell you, when I looked at those figures, it gave me 1.5 tons of briquettes. From areca nut plates, we converted into fuel called briquettes, and 1.5 ton briquettes came back to us. And to cook food for 70,000 people, the fuel required is 1,500 kgs. So the fuel required for cooking food comes from the plate what we used. And this is one interesting figure. And such figures drive us to come out with new innovative projects. We know about petroleum fuel, we know about we should reduce petroleum fuel. All that was known to me also as an engineer. I used to talk about renewable energy. But when it comes back to my kitchen, we were using 60 LPG cylinders a day. At home, my requirement is 1 cylinder for month, but back in Adamya Chetana, ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ 60,000 LPG ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಗಿಡಗಳನ್ನು ಕತ್ತರಿಸಬಾರ್ದು, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲಿಯಂ ಇಂಧನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬಳಸಿ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮನೆಯೂ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲಿಯಂ ಇಂಧನದ ದಾಸರಾಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ LPG ಫಾರ್ ಕುಕಿಂಗ್, petrol, diesel for traveling. It's there. Even for electricity comes from fossil fuel. Electricity ಯಾವುದು ನಾವು ಸರ್ ಎಂ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಕ್ ಪವರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ನೀರಿನ ರಭಸದಿಂದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು 100 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು electricity ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋಂಥ 90% ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಕೋಲಿಂದ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಥರ್ಮಲ್ ಪವರ್. ಮತ್ತು ಥರ್ಮಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಟಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾನ್ ರಿನ್ಯೂವೇಬಲ್. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಯಾಯ ಬೇಡವಾ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಯಾಯ ಹುಡುಕಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟು ಶೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಕುಕಿಂಗ್ 70,000 meals comes from waste material. I don't use not even one LPG cylinder for cooking. We have not allowed LPG, we have just not allowed LPG cylinders since last, I think, more than 13 years now. The kitchen which was using 60 cylinders a day. It is possible. Some simple changes in our work. That's what I have learnt in my 25 years of journey. And I am sure there are so many stories to share for our other awardees. But I always feel one is the right and the genuine work, genuine intent. And second one is look at the data. We should have the data, the information. Illandre namge bahashtu jana why women don't get into many of the big works or not, why not confident is those information is not there. When we read the paper, either we don't read the newspaper. If at all we read, generally it is some gossips or something in the second, third page. ಬಟ್ ನನಗನ್ಸೋದು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ಸು ಬೇಕು, ಏನು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸಂಡೇ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ, ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕು ಉಸಿರಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ನನಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಂತರ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬನೂ ಉಸಿರಾಡದೆ ಬದುಕೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಗಿಡ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು ಆವಾಗಿಂದ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ ಗಿಡ ನೆಡೋ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಉಸಿರಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ 700 kg ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕು. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ 700 kg ಪರ್ ಇಯರ್ ಪರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಅ ಟ್ರೀ ಗಿವ್ಸ್? Tree gives 100 kg per year. So we need 7 living trees just for breathing, not for carbon sequestration. ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ನು ಗಾಳಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋರು ಗಿಡ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೊಡೋರು ಗಿಡ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಬರೀ ಉಸಿರಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೇ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ 7 trees. And then for making paper, for making our paper napkins, for furniture, I have not considered all that count. And to tell you what is the Bangalore count, Bangalore with 1 crore plus people has only 15 lakh trees. So the requirement is 1:7. What we have today is 1 tree for 7 people. This is the situation of Green Bangalore. Imagine what may be the situation in Mumbai, what may be in Delhi. And with the country which was known as Sasya Shamalam Mataram Vande, when Bankim Chandra Chatterjee wrote Vande Mataram, he said, Sasya Shamalam Mataram Vande, the mother India is covered with green. But today in people to tree ratio, we are one of the least in the world. We stand in 118th rank or something. That's where we have pushed ourselves to that corner. So that's where Adamya Chetana decided, when we came to know about this, each person needs 7 trees, and trees are the only source of oxygen. Trees are the only tools for taking the carbon what we produce so much. Why not at least dedicate half a day on every Sunday, go to different places, water the trees. When we say water the trees, then we realize so much of water, the rice washed water is going into the drains in Adamya Chetana kitchen itself. So every day now we carry 10,000 liters of the rice washed water in a tanker and go to these trees. ಇದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಮ್ಯದಿಂದ ದಿನ 10,000 ಲೀಟರ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಗಿಡಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಗ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಈಚ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶ್ಯೂರ್ 100% correction is not possible. I am not here to guarantee you 100% oxygen, 100% clean and green environment. But we can reduce the pressure of the environment. I will give you one simple trick. Normally, without giving that trick, I don't normally end my speech. Every time when we open the milk packet in the morning, how do we? Normally, we used to cut it this way, right? ಹೀಗೆ ಕತ್ತರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಲಿನ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಕತ್ತರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲೇ 30 ಲಕ್ಷ ಈ ಕತ್ತರಿಸಿದ ತುದಿಗಳು, the corners, when we cut like this, in Bangalore itself we get 30 lakh such small pieces. What happens to them? They get into the dustbin, and when they get mixed with others, we cannot segregate. If we can't segregate, we can't recycle. And what is the solution then? They get into the soil, they get into water, they come back to us in the form of microplastic. Unfortunately, every brand of salt what we eat has microplastic in it. And microplastic is there everywhere now, even in our breath. If this is the situation, it means what? Every brand of salt has microplastic, means we have successfully polluted the entire ocean, because salt comes from ocean. So what is the solution? At individual level, fighting against plastic when it is there, all pervasive, it is difficult. But one small change what we can do in the morning is, instead of cutting it this way, cut it this way. So you are not separating the piece. If all 30 lakh covers are cut this way, the bigger plastic is also minimized, but it is not that big menace compared to the smaller piece. Somebody will pick it up, send it for recycle, and it can be reused. So some small simple ads. You carry your own bottle, avoid using, don't use paper glass. If you don't, okay, you can skip the coffee. If somebody gives, I do it normally, many of my friends do it. If somebody gives you in paper glass, you say, it's okay, I'm not drinking. You carry your own water bottle. Then you are in every marriage, if you carry your own water bottle, you can save some thousands of water bottles, plastic bottles getting into the dustbin. Change your clothing. Now it is high time we have to look at what is polyester, what is the polyester thread. If I ask, many of the, even science students are failed to answer where do the thread of plastic, the polyester cloth comes from. They don't know. Somebody said it is BT cotton. Said, I'm sorry, it is not BT cotton, it is again plastic. The polyester clothing is nothing but plastic clothing. And every jari of our sari of which costs some 500 rupees, how can you expect silver or gold in 500 rupees sari? Alva, 500 rupees ಸೀರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ, ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಸಿಲ್ವರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಏನದು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಸೀರೆ ಉಟ್ಟು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು 5 ವರ್ಷನೋ 4 ವರ್ಷನೋ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಕಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅದು ಸಾಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕೊಳೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಹಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾವಿರಾರು ವರ್ಷ ಉಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈ ಟೈಮ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ clothing, we have to look at the type of houses we are building, the way we are using cement. These are all the big questions. Together we have to answer. The questions may be big, like when the midday meal was started, serving every school, every child was a big challenge. But today, many organizations have come forward and joined hands. Now, feeding 10 crore children is one of the most successful projects any country has done in the world. And the credit goes to all the people of this country, where every day 10 crore children are fed, and the nutritious meal is going to these children. And thanks to all the Seva Kartas, thanks to my salutations to Sri Sathya Sai Baba for creating this whole concept of Seva, originating the concept of Seva of Indian culture. And the programs of this kind will again rekindle and again motivate all of us to do more and more work for the society. Thank you again for inviting me more for this program.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your captivating words. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾತುಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿದಾಯಕವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನೀವು ಅದಮ್ಯ ಚೇತನದ ಅನ್ನಪೂರ್ಣೆಯಂತೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.